Well, hello everybody. Good evening to every one of you. And it's a pleasure having every one of you joining us at this time. I saw those of you who have come on really early. And I just want to go back and greet you. I saw Arlene, first of all. She's always a first on YouTube. So, welcome to you, Arlene. Thank you for joining us. And I trust that that project you have is coming along nicely. Gladys Jokes, thank you for joining us. You came on early too and shared. And I'm going to ask the rest of you who are coming on to share. I don't know why there is no sound because I'm not muted. So who is this? Brenda Cunningham is saying that there's no sound, and I was hearing the sound of the music. Is there anybody else that is saying that there is no sound? Because I don't know if that is so, then I don't know what's going on. So I'll continue talking. Hello, Michael. So glad to have you. And one of the few men that join us, and I am so glad to have you and to be able to get a man's perspective on things. Teddy Myers, good evening to you. Arlene, I'm glad that you are ready. And Joseph P. Angle, as usual, sending greetings to all these people. I hope they do come on, Joseph. I will be very happy. Thank you, Brenda, for the compliment. Thank you so much. I try. Okay, so Joseph is greeting all of these people. I trust one day I will have all of them on my program. And so, good evening to all of you who are actually there. Thank you, Brenda, again for the compliment. Colin, Anthony, God bless you. So glad to have you. Thank you for sharing, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate that. Beverly Jean Baptiste, my good friend over there in St. Lucia. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And Katina M. Bugunu Winston. I love to say your whole full name, Katina. I give you all of your names, okay? So God bless you. Good to have you. Uh, the style. Yeah, I tried something different today, Katina. It's getting a little out of hand because it's growing so fast. So sometimes I have to do stuff with it. But I'm keeping it. I'm growing it. I don't want to cut it anytime soon. I don't know if I'll change my mind. Brenda, I think I greeted you already, and yes. Who else? Lynn Beverly. Okay, Julietine. Saw your story, Julietine. Looking good, girl. God bless you. And thank you, Michael, for the compliment. And yeah, okay. All right. Who else? Okay. So as you come on, please share, please like, please invite somebody special. You could send an invitation to somebody specifically because sometimes people say that they did not they could not. So what you do if you want to send it to somebody in particular, when you press the share button below, you can copy the link, okay, and then you can just come out for a while and go to somebody special or somebody that you think you would want to join us this evening, would want to share what's going on this evening. And you can just welcome them or tell them please join here. I'm just trying to think of who I copied the link, but I'm trying to think of who I want to send this to in particular. So let me see. Oh my goodness. Well, I have so many people coming to mind. Something. I think I'll just do this. Maybe it will be a blessing there. So welcome to all of you who are on right now and who are joining. Kayla Shea, good evening. I heard that word to you this morning, Kayla Shea, and I hope you grabbed onto it. Augustina Jean-Baptiste, good evening to you too. I am so glad to have all those of you who are joining with us at this time on Let's Talk. And every now and again I have a heart-to-heart talk with the Father concerning Let's Talk. Okay, so we are in that season where there is ah oh, it was your past birthday dinner picture. Okay, Julitin. Nice. It looks nice. Thank you for sharing it with us. Okay, so what are we doing this evening? You know, I do not spend a lot of time greeting because we only have actually a small, maybe just about 25 minutes to share. And then, hi, Athenia. Good evening. Welcome. So we just have a short time to share, and then we go into our Zoom. And I trust that many of you are going to get on the Zoom today. Um, I already, well, I know Brother Angle always has, he already has the link, and coming closer to that time, he will go on. But I will have to come on and make him a co-host so that he could start letting you all in. So really and truly, we're gonna go into what we started last week because for about 3 or 4 weeks, more like 3 weeks. I don't think it was 4 weeks, for about 3 weeks, we were sharing on the foolish woman that is talked about so much in the book of Proverbs. And then last week, I think it was, we started on the wise woman, or the woman that epitomizes wise women in general. And there are many of them in the scripture, you know, but we want to use this one because she kind of epitomizes all the qualities that you should find in a wise woman. And this is not just for us as women, it's also for men, especially unmarried men, especially when you're talking to your sons, that you tell them what kind of woman they should be looking for. Okay, because you know, towards the end of it, it says uh, beauty, charm is deceptive and beauty is vain, but it is a woman who fears the Lord that shall be praised. Okay, so we are looking at Proverbs chapter 31, uh, where King Lemuel is being told by his mother the kind of person, the kind of wife that he should be looking for, especially based on the fact of his assignment as a king, you know. And so many men, their downfall has been that they have linked themselves up or joined themselves up to a wrong woman, to a woman that really does not help them. Let me put it like that. Hi, blessed, favored, good night to you. So let's look at this. And we started last day and we said one of the things we talked about is that she is a woman of strength and mighty valor. And I'm reading from the Passion. And, you know, some people were saying that they had never thought of associating might and valor with a woman. It usually we use those words to describe men, but as women, we are supposed to be women of valor, women of might. Actually, and I shared this. I've shared it a number of times ever since I discovered it myself, that the word help, meet or help, suitable, in that is used in Genesis when God says he's going to give Adam a wife that is meet for him, or he's going to give man a wife that is suitable to him. And the word help there is the Hebrew word ezer, which suggests military help or military strength. And you know, sometimes it's only when a family is in crisis that some men or husbands get to appreciate that military strength that is in the wife. You know, if you're a woman that falls apart whenever there is a crisis, you know, you are not ready to be married, okay? Because in marriage you will face crises. There are different kinds of crises, and you can't be the kind of woman that falls apart whenever there is a crisis, because that is the time when your husband needs you to be a military strength to him, where your children need you to be that military strength to them. So it said that she is a woman of strength and mighty valor. And then it went on to say she's full of wealth and was wisdom. I like the wealth part. She's full of wealth and wisdom, and the price paid for her was greater than many jewels. We don't. We in the West, we don't appreciate that uh, that verse too much, because you know we don't have dowries and stuff like that. But do you know that in so many places in the East, and even in Africa and in India and in some of the other Eastern countries, that a man is still required to purchase, well, it sounds bad to say purchase, but to bring a great gift when he is getting married to the woman. He has to pay a dowry for her, or I can't remember what they call it in Africa, but he has to come with something to the table. And this thing that, well, let me not go there because I might be in trouble. But so many times uh, out here in the West, it's like if you know women are so desperate for a husband that they are willing to take anybody, and if he doesn't see the value in you now, how is he going to see value in you later? And so even though he may not have to bring a dowry, you should see from his behavior all now whether he values you, whether he if whether he thinks highly of you, whether he brings gifts, whether he is very stingy with you. Because if he's stingy with you now, he's going to be stingy with you later on. And so here, this woman, it's said that the price that was paid for her was greater than many rubies. And it says she's full of wealth. And do we think of it, well, um, we think of it as why would that be so? But sometimes that became an inheritance later on for her, whatever was paid for her to her parents. But it says she's also full of wisdom. So this is what we want to look at tonight. How does she demonstrate wisdom? uh, that that she's counted as a woman of wisdom. And it's good to have money, but there are many women who have a lot of money and they are very foolish. They have displayed such foolish behavior. And so money does not make you wise. And if you have money but you lack wisdom, you're going to lose it all anyhow, or lose a lot of it anyhow. So it goes on to say, and I love this part, verses 11 and 12. I guess this might be all we can get to tonight. I hope we can get through to more. But it says her husband has entrusted his heart to her, for she brings him the rich spoils of victory. All throughout her life, she brings him what is good and not evil. Let me read this again. Her husband has entrusted his heart to her. And I want to stop here to speak to many of you women, those of you who are single and aspiring to be married. And right now, if you can think of somebody that is wanting to get married, or somebody who is engaged to be married, I think you need to stop and share this with them. They need to hear this, okay? So it says, her husband has entrusted his heart to her. And I want to address women because, we want many times to have quality conversation. For a lot of women, they desire to have conversation with their husbands. They want their husbands to pay attention to them. They want to be able to share with their husbands what went on during the day, or how they're feeling and stuff like that. And they want him to reciprocate. They want, and this is for you men that are on, and any man that you have sent the share to. Women want you to share with us. We want to hear, what are your dreams. We want to hear what are your plans. We want to hear we want to know what's going on. And I've heard so many times that men say by the time they get home they don't want to talk, or they don't feel like talking, and all of these kinds of things. But let me tell you something, that conversation is necessary for intimacy. Conversation is necessary for intimacy. Why do I say that? Even God, it says he would come down in the cool of the evening and just talk with Adam and with Eve, talk with the man, just walk in the garden and talk with him. Why was this? God was desiring relationship. God wanted intimacy with Adam. He wanted intimacy with Adam and Eve. And that is why he was, when they sinned and they went and hid themselves, he asked you, where are you? Where are you? And we think that it's not necessary to talk for intimacy, but I'm telling you, conversation can be very sexy. Let me put it like that. Nothing that I don't want to say nothing, but you don't know how much a woman's heart will be opened up to you when you talk with her, when you share your inner thoughts with her. But this is where I am coming to the woman, and I'm saying, because this does not come naturally to most men. Most men don't want to talk about what's going on, and they don't want to talk about stuff that is in their heart. But when they do, you have to be so careful that that trust that he has put in you, you do not violate it. What do I mean by that? When your husband comes and shares an idea he has with you, or a thought he has with you, don't be quick to shoot it down. Don't be quick to tell him why it won't work. We are supposed to be their biggest fans. And so when they open up their heart and share something with us, whether it's a fear, whether it's a desire, whether it's some kind of thing that might be bothering them, or whether it's a dream that they have, they are entrusting their heart to us. And so, I see you're present, Miranda. And so, we could actually miss that opportunity, and it may not come around again for a long time. Because once you violate that trust, once you violate that opportunity where he actually opened up his heart to you and shared that with you, and rather than you supporting him in his dream or his goal, or even just being a comfort to him in whatever he might be going through at that time, whatever fear, whatever concern that he has. If you miss that opportunity, it's not going to come around very soon again. And some of you may be wondering why your husband doesn't talk, why he doesn't, tell you anything. Maybe it's because, you missed an opportunity, you lost an opportunity. You did not take care. When he entrusted his heart to you, you did not take care. You did not value it. You did not treat it with the respect that it deserved. So this is just a hint, hint, hint to those of you. And you could ask, if you've lost that, if you feel that you've missed it, you can ask forgiveness, first of all, from the one that you have wounded, and secondly from God, and ask God to help you to do better. Ask God to help you to operate more like a wise woman. So it says her husband has entrusted his heart to her. And this takes in a lot of things, people. It's not just his dreams and so on, but even his confidence, that, because it goes on to say, for she brings him the rich spoils of victory. And the note says, in the Passion, the note says, or he has great confidence in her. When a man has great confidence in you, that is just such a treasure, something to treasure. When a man has confidence in you, when he knows that his wife is going to, as it says in the next verse, all throughout her life she brings him what is good and not evil. How do we how can so she's not going to bring disgrace to him. She's not going to talk him down. She's not going to embarrass him in public or in private. So these are ways that you bring good to the husband, and not evil. What is evil? Evil is anything that's not going to be building him up. Evil is anything that makes him feel as if he's not valued. Evil is anything that can cause him to question whether he did the best thing when he married you. So all throughout this wise woman that we are reading about in Proverbs 31, it says all throughout her life, she brings him what is good and not evil. Does that mean that she did not have opportunity at times to be annoyed at him, to maybe be a little displeased with him? Does that mean that he was a perfect man, and she never had any fault with him? I don't think so. I don't think so, because none of us is perfect, male or female. None of us can say we are perfect. Okay? As a matter of fact, most of us will agree that we are far from perfect. Yes, Gladys, some women even go as far as discussing that with other people, discussing your husband, discussing things that you may be displeased about, bringing reports about him to that good friend that you have, and so on. And people will absorb whatever it is you present about somebody else, especially parents, and you don't want your parent. And please understand me, I'm not saying that you have to, um how should I say, that you are covering for him if he is doing wrong. Okay, I'm not saying that. All right, please. Sometimes we say things and people just take it to an extreme, or they don't balance it. I'm talking about in most normal, let me call it a normal situation, where the man will fail in some areas, or he might be not thoughtful enough in another area, or he might not be, how should I say, he might not be pulling his weight financially as you feel he should or would want him to. I'm not talking about a man now that does not contribute and he just wants to live off of you, okay? That the Bible says such a person should not eat. If they don't work, they shouldn't eat. All right. But I'm just talking about in regular husband-wife relationships, just normal people, everyday people, all kinds of little things will come up, little things and big things. But I'm saying that if you are that wise woman, you are going to be bringing him good and not evil. And this includes, let me share this with you. You don't have to tell him everything that other people say about him, especially his in-laws, okay, especially your family. You should not bring and tell your husband evil. You should not bring evil reports to him. What is going to happen when you do that? You alienate him from your own family. And then when it comes to a place where he feels, I don't want to go to any family reunion, I don't want to go over to your mother's house, I don't want your father to come over here, I don't want your sister, and it causes a lot of confusion now. It was because you were so unwise that you brought evil and not good to him. Let me tell you something. For years, my husband and I pastored, but I would people would say things about him. I would hear stuff about him, but I would not share that with him. Why? Because he had to pastor these people. And I didn't want him to have or develop any kind of a attitude to somebody, you know, unless it was something that was really detrimental, really going to be dangerous. I covered some of these things. It is not everything that you bring. It is not everything that you share with a husband. It's not everything that you. If it's not good, if it's not a good report, then it doesn't need to be. There's no need to share it with him. You may not agree with me, but that's okay. I'm just telling you, 46 years of marriage did not happen by being a foolish woman. Okay? It was following some of these directions here that are given concerning the wise woman. All right? Um I'm going to go on and do verse 13. I think we have just a few minutes left. It says, she searches out continually to possess that which is pure and righteous. She delights in the work of her hands. Um, in the King James and so on, it talks about wool and linen and flax. Um, Linen, it says, always spoke of righteousness. The priests of the Old Testament, they wore these linen garments as they went before God's presence to offer sacrifices. The curtains in the tabernacle was also made of linen, signifying God's righteousness. And so when it talks about that, what it's really saying is that she goes after that which is righteous. She goes after righteousness. She goes after purity. Okay, and she delights in the work of her hands. It's very bad. A lazy man is bad. But when you see you have a lazy woman, it is super bad, you know. And unfortunately, there are some women that are lazy. They don't want to do anything. There are some women that leave everything up to their husband to do. The he has to clean, he has to cook, he has to wash, he has to take care of the children and everything, and still go out to work and come home. That is a lazy woman. And it says, but the wise woman, she delights in the work of her hands. So she puts her hands to work, and she doesn't have what we call, I have heard some people call it that uh, princess. It's not mentality. There's another word that they say when they're talking about it. Um, Yes, brother. By the way, brother Angle is posting the Zoom link. Please copy it, but don't go to it yet because I'm not finished. All right. So it says that she delights in the work of her hands, and so we as women, we have to work with our hands. We have to be we have to be like our creator. We have to create stuff with our hands. You know, we have to put our hands, as the Bible talks it, to the plow. And we cannot have a princess mentality, such as that, oh, we can't do that, or this is beneath us, or, you know, expect our husbands to wait hand and foot on us. As a matter of fact, if we serve, you know, it is it and how should I say it? It draws your husband toward you when you serve him. You know, when you serve that man. And I know there are many of you that have been influenced by all of the feminism and the women's lib and all of that. But I'm telling you, it works. Okay, it works. And Jesus himself said, you know, if I am your Lord and Master and I serve you, you also should be willing to serve one another. And I know it's not just a one-way street. I know that the husband should also serve his wife, but we are not talking about him right now. We are talking about the wise woman. And many times, the thing that you want from somebody else, you have to give it. Doesn't the scripture say, give and it shall be given to you? So while you are waiting for him to serve you, why don't you begin to serve him and see if it will be reciprocated? Well, we're going to stop now. Yes, Augustina, princess mindset or ideology. We're going to stop now, and we're going to shift over to our Zoom. For those of you who may be watching for the first time, we do go into a Zoom right after this. And in that Zoom, I ask for your opinion, and you can share your thoughts. I know there are many of you that are shaking your head and not agreeing with me. It's okay. You are free to disagree, but you need to talk. You need to tell us why you disagree and what you disagree about. And for those of you who agree, you know, we also need to hear your point of view. So at this time, we are going to, Michael said, I have a Titus 2 wife. Oh, great, Michael. So right at this time, we are going to close off this section of Let's Talk, and we are going to move into our other part of it, which is the Zoom part. Brother Angle, if you're listening, and I know you are, you're probably already in there, and I have not made you the co-host. So I'm going to do that now so that you can help to, yeah, okay. You're there. Okay, so I'm going to make him the co-host so he can let people in. Okay, so for now, bye. And I do want to remind you, please join us tomorrow morning for a voice, AM The Voice, with Pastor Estrada, Apostle Estrada, and myself. He's on his way back from St. Thomas, but we look forward to having you join us for that.